Blue?
It's blue.
What the fuck are you drinking?
It's just water, but it's in a blue cup. Why is this blowing your
You're
mind?
shitting me. No, because it's so incredibly blue, dude. It looks like it's got dye in it.
Yeah, it's good. It's got the food dyes they've been telling me about. Let me get a different chair because this
Yeah.
chair is very squeaky. Do you follow politics?
A bit.
Yeah.
Did something happen?
No, I'm just.
What's he done now?
I was honestly curious about.
What's he done this time?
I'm just honestly curious about
Did he
whether.
get caught with his hands in a fucking miner's pants and blamed it on the liberals and everybody said, "Oh yeah, totally." Did he fucking fall? Did he fall down the stairs and blame the Democrats and everyone said, "Oh yeah"?
I heard a really interesting debate about whether if Donald Trump came out as trans, if the whole Conservative Party would suddenly be like pro-trans rights, you know, because they're so like.
That would be really funny.
But like, it's a genuine like what if. It's like a classic what if
Yeah,
because
yeah. What if he's what? I mean, trans maybe not, but if he came out as an illegal immigrant, I think
so
they'd all
you
forget
think
about
that
that.
if Donald Jane Trump came out as trans, then the Conservative Party would go behind him? Or they, sorry,
No, I think that. No, I think they wouldn't like that if he did that.
so they would turn
But
on
I
him.
think if he came out, no, because I think that the hate for trans people
Is
is
deeper.
much more than the hate for is deeper than the hate for like immigrants. Like if he said like I'm illegal, I'm from Germany or something, I think everybody would be like, okay, yeah,
You know, I think it's the other way around. Like I would put money on the
really,
opposite. Like I think that the hate for trans people is quite simple. It's like it's actually like quite easy to understand. It's just disgust. It's the feeling disgust. And it's like there's this very small reason to dislike trans people actually is because people are like actually transphobic. It's pretty easy to get over being transphobic though.
yeah,
It's like way easier to get over
yeah,
being transphobic than it is to get over being racist, I think. So I think
maybe
that
you might be
because
right.
like so much of it the hate is invented and there's such little anything, then I think that it would be easier for people to just be like, hey, we love trans people now. I think that's more likely.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe. I mean, because here's the thing: is Trump is white. So like, if he came out as like an illegal Irish immigrant, I think they'd be like, oh well, Ireland's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I
Whereas,
think they'd think something. Whereas, oh, but not Guatemala.
yeah, there's another funny thing that I've heard, which is that he's a much more sincere racist than he is transphobe. And he's actually like probably not transphobic on the inside.
You might not be. That's the thing. We'll probably never know.
Like it doesn't matter, obviously, but
Yeah.
there are funny clips. There are really funny clips of him like correctly gendering trans people on the campaign trail, like but without meaning to, and it's like he's faking it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Trump cares about half the stuff he talks about.
Yeah.
I think Trump. No. He's owned fucking restaurants, and everyone in that fucking restaurant is fucking from Guatemala, and he's like, yeah,
Dude,
this is how I do it to save lots of money. This is how I do it to save lots of money.
I wa- I watched this talk given like 20 years ago by Anthony Bourdain, the chef,
Okay.
about leadership, and it was about like leadership in his kitchen and in kitchens, and it had a lot of advice in it. It was like it was like a 45-minute block of advice about being a boss given by Anthony Bourdain. The funny part of it was like I was contrasting it to this channel I watch all the time, a very popular channel called Mentor Pilot, where he talks about the aviation industry, and he talks a lot about like command structure and like what's the word, crew resource management in aviation, and how it's important to have like just culture and all that kind of thing. And everything Anthony Bourdain was saying was the opposite of what they say in aviation, where it's maybe more important. And so I started to think that,
yeah, maybe. I mean, lives are at stake in both, but more lives are at stake in aviation.
like, how it's important to haze new employees because you got to show them.
Is what he said in kitchens or aviation?
Kitchens. It's important to haze new employees because you're going to show them that, they have to be able to take bad things. You're going to have bad days all the time. So you have to be able to deal with bad days and come back from them. And you do this by hazing people. And
good advice, Tony.
cussing them out. And I'm just like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's right? This is a different world. I don't work in kitchens.
Maybe he's right. I've worked in a kitchen. Yeah, I worked in a kitchen once. It was pretty. It wasn't. It sucked. It's not a great job, but it's
Yeah.
We need people to do it. And as far as type of shit go, I imagine how it could be good if like everyone in the kitchen isn't like a fucking asshole. Like really, it was like there were two guys there was one guy in the kitchen who was just like a monster. He was just a fucking real piece of work, and he just made the job bad.
Dude, I ended up
Other than
thinking,
him, the job would have been fine.
I ended up thinking that the only way that this advice is useful is if nothing is at stake. Where like the only thing that's at stake in a kitchen is people don't get their food.
Yeah, that's really it. I mean, somebody could maybe spill something. Somebody could get burned.
Yes, but his advice was different about that. Like he talked about good things when he was talking about safety. He talked about like coming into work on time shows a good thing for if you're handling pots of boiling water, right? Those two are like associated for Anthony Bourdain. And I'm like, that makes sense. So all the safety stuff where there was something at stake was actually like much more made sense to me. And then there was this like weird, he talked about the Marines constantly. He was so in love with the Marine Corps. And he was, I feel like I should stand while I'm talking about this, We should both probably stand.
Yeah. We should stand like this.
Yeah. Take our hats off.
Take my headphones off.
But he talked about the Marines over and over again. He talked about this thing called esprit de corps, which is like spirit of the corps, how the Marines have the highest esprit de corps, and they also have like the most hazing, and it's like the worst.
They do have a lot of hazing, it's true.
Funnily enough, if you go to the US military's YouTube channels, which I have done, you'll
Oh, of course they have lots of them. Yeah, so go on.
You will see that they want to tell you nowadays that they don't do that kind of hazing anymore. They still have no, seriously, I actually believe them, right? Because they will still do they still do the gas chamber, which is where you go into a chamber and you get tear gassed and you have to take your mask off, say a thing, put it back on, and clear it with your lungs, okay? They still do that because it's seen as a safety thing. And they still make you wake up really early. They still yell in your face, right? Because it's important to be able to still make decisions when it's loud. But they are pretty strident that they do not do that kind of hazing anymore. They do not they do that dressing down, they probably still do the dressing down because it's like I said, it's like the shouting in people's faces. But they say they don't do that kind of hazing anymore, and I think it's because it didn't work.
No.
I think it's because
it just makes you mad,
right,
and untrustworthy, and it just makes you not trust people.
Right. It's also not. I don't know. I don't actually know because there's a point at which my understanding of trauma and development and all this kind of thing is very civilian coded, and there's
it's very civilian grade.
Yeah, there's maybe other things that are happening if you're in the army, but I just think that it's really significant to me that even the military don't do what Anthony Bourdain was saying that the military does that he likes so much. The military's moved away from that. Right? I thought that was fucking, I thought that was hilarious. Like, what kind of fucking poser?
Yeah,
You know?
real army stand here.
Yeah.
Real army stand.
Right. It's not that deep, bro. You're just cooking food.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, please relax. People are gonna show up and cook the food and go home. That's what their job is.
Yeah. And
Like, I'll tell you, man, that job was rough. That was a rough
Yeah.
fucking job.
I remember when you had that job, you talked about it.
Yeah, yeah. I probably told you everything.
Yeah.
Did I tell you how fucked up we got?
No. No.
Oh, dude, we were just getting fucking high, and drink. I'd drink like 3 beers on my way there.
On your way there,
Because when you
were on public transportation.
No,
He
like,
was on
on my-
public
like-
transportation.
what? No, I would walk there.
Okay, but you weren't driving.
No, I would walk there.
Yeah.
Because what it was is you'd get there and not much would happen for a long time, and
Okay.
then lots of shit would happen. It would be like 2 hours until something happened, or you're just kind of milling around, making sure everything is right. I also wasn't doing prepping. I wasn't chopping onions. So that I'd come in and the onions would be chopped for me.
You were on the sandwich line,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Did I
yeah.
get this Dan
I was on
Lore
sandwiches and chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was at a pizza place, but I wasn't at but I
Right.
didn't do pizza. I did everything that wasn't pizza. I never made a pizza.
Because you're white.
I was on like pasta and sauce. Because of where I stood on the line. Most people,
I'm kidding.
most
I'm just kidding. I'm just
people
kidding.
on
I'm
the
just
line
kidding.
were white. There were like 3 Latinos.
So you said we
3
got
white
fucked
guys.
up, though. So everybody did this?
Yeah, no, yeah. Everybody was just getting high the whole time. Because it's a rough job.
Actually, you know why I thought of this Anthony Bourdain talk was because you mentioned like people working in the kitchens being like immigrants.
Yeah.
And he talked about
Yeah.
that. And he was actually like a good fifth of this talk was like really pro-immigrant and like pro-empathy for immigrants. It was like, you
Yeah.
really have to think about the people who are making the food in this country, and you have to and you have to be respectful because these are the people who are making the food in your country. It was so like wholesome.
Yeah, these are the people washing the fucking dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there was a Haitian guy. I love that. I love that Haitian guy. His name was Vlad. We all called him Vlad.
Vlad,
He
the
was so
Haitian
awesome.
guy?
Yeah, Vlad. Yeah, Vlad.
What
Yeah,
the
it was
fuck
great.
kind of
It was
Haitian
awesome.
name is Vlad?
I don't know. That's
He was
you know,
Haitian.
they got
He was
French
Haitian
shit.
via Russia.
They have French shit. They have French shit in
It's
in,
not
in Haiti.
French. Vlad? VLAD Vlad.
Oh, I guess not.
It's just not, it's fucking Russian.
Yeah. I guess that is a little weird.
It's
I
Vladimir
don't know. I never asked him
Dog.
about his name. Yeah, it's true. I never asked him about any of that. It would just be like, you called me Vlad, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, man. And whenever he was like done with
It's interesting
whenever
because
he was,
your Creole is quite similar to your Russian.
yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Anyway.
It's all just noise. It's all just noise to me. That's all fun noise to me.
Dan doesn't
So
see
I would like
color.
talk to like whatever. I don't hear color.
Right.
I see it. I
Right,
see it.
right.
It's easy. It's harder to hear it.
Eyes,
So
racist.
whatever
Ears, enlightened.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
whenever Vlad was like done, whatever Vlad was like done like talking to you, he would be like, kiss on my black ass, and then he'd like walk away. It's so funny. It was so great. It was a fun dude. I really hope he's doing all right. He loved Justin Bieber.
Mm.
He loved. This is like 2016, 2015. He wore a Justin Bieber like snapback that was like cocked this side and had like it said like Bieber in like cool graffiti writing.
Crazy.
He was a character, man.
Somebody
he was,
was in the character select
He was
screen just
right.
rolling dice.
Yeah, Yeah, just rolling a fucking goobus. He
Yeah.
was he was a funny guy. He was a funny guy. I don't know. He was great. I loved working with him. He did his job just fine.
There is some
I hope he's
video game
okay.
language that if you don't know it, or if the person you're talking to doesn't know it, it's like very hard to communicate certain things.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Trying to
As a gamer.
describe people's weird behavior with like different types of NPCs.
Yeah, it's a really apt.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's
it's
this.
like you're in the character select and you just hit random 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, that's why you have the Justin Bieber
You end
hat.
up with VLAD.
Yeah.
That's why he had the Justin Bieber hat. He fucking loved Baby. He would sing it while he washed dishes.
I'm picturing his. I'm listening to his voice in my head. It's like really deep.
It was so fucking funny. It wasn't that deep.
It's just normal.
It's hard for me to like. I don't really remember how he talked. It was very like. It was kind of like that. It was kind of like that. Oh man, I miss him, man. I hope he's okay. I hope he's doing all right.
Yeah.
Last time I was in Boston. Hang on, I'm gonna turn off my camera back on. I'm all blurry. Like last time I was in Boston, they boarded up that restaurant that I worked at. It closed down during COVID. So I have no idea what became of anyone I used to work with. I have no idea what became of them.
Fucking
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
So,
it wasn't a good one. It wasn't a good one. It wasn't a good one.
but like types of NPCs, right? There's this one
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, genres of them.
There's this one guy in Bangor, Maine, who you see all over the place, and he's like a little bit of an older guy, and he always wears a dress. He like is always dressed in drag. But you see him so much that he has like a really important quest. Like
Yeah.
everybody does. Like this is the quest that everybody does. And
What is it?
I don't know. I haven't started it. I haven't gone up to him yet. I don't know.
Do you think is he a quest giver?
Yeah. No, he's got to be.
Dude, you gotta give him $2.
I do have to get. I know. I have to. It's on the list.
That's the quest.
But I was
That's the
trying to
quest.
explain what it means to be an NPC who starts a quest to someone who doesn't like. And I don't play video games, but I love video games. And I was trying to explain this to somebody who
Yeah,
doesn't.
you're a non-gamer gamer.
I am.
You're a
suck.
game appreciator. You're a game appreciator.
I really do appreciate a video game. I'm really
Yeah,
sad about the state Overwatch is in right now.
Oh, I believe you. Well, I mean, I think Overwatch was always a little, I don't know. It was always like really weird and toxic. It was always like when I only played Overwatch when I was at your house that one time, and I remember like I would pick like Roadhog, and people would get like pissed at me. They'd be like, "No, man, don't fucking pick that guy."
The thing
And I was like, "Dude," and then I'd go on and like beat people.
yeah.
I'd go on and like get a positive KD. Like,
It's
what's your
so
problem? I
widely
did well.
known at this point how messed up Blizzard was while they were making that game.
Yeah. They weren't good. They were not good.
And
They're not a good company.
I can't help but thinking that misery loves company. Right? Like,
Yeah. Toxicity breeds.
right. You are in this horrible workplace where apparently like nobody cares about human beings. And then right? And
Yeah, women. Ooh.
yeah,
Good luck.
it's crazy. And then you make this game that is like so toxic. Like it's worse than CS:GO from its inception.
It was always worse than Counter-Strike.
Yeah. And Counter-Strike is famously toxic. So it's like
Yes.
it's like basically as toxic as League of Legends from its inception.
Yeah, probably.
And they never fixed it.
No, they never tried.
They never fixed it. They tried like weirdly slowly, and then they poured.
I don't remember any of that.
Well, they made changes, right? They eventually made changes to the game, but they poured huge amounts of money into this Overwatch esport league, and I loved it, but it was so controversial. It was like it was controversial on cooldown.
Yeah.
There were pedophiles, and there were beefs, and there were teams that would, players that would get kicked out, and racists, and
Yeah.
it's just insanely toxic. And then nowadays the game just like died, and there's like,
Yeah.
I dare you, find more than 3 active Overwatch content creators on YouTube. There's 3 of them.
They really had it all for a while. They
Yeah.
really had it all for a little bit.
And I loved it because I
The
loved Overwatch.
2017 era,
Yeah.
2016, 2017 era. They had it all. I remember I was playing a lot of Team Fortress 2 at the time, and I remember all the TF2 YouTubers just were Overwatch now.
Yeah. Now they
And
did
I
it with
remember-
Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, Marvel Rivals is hot right now. It's hot in the streets.
Yeah.
It's hot in the streets.
An impossible game to watch.
Is it? I've watched a couple people. I've watched a couple friends play it in Discord. But it's really not my type of game. What makes it? What's hard to watch about it?
So Overwatch has gotten harder to watch as they've increased the number of heroes progressively.
Okay, yeah.
It used to be with the
Yeah.
original set of heroes, and even like after they added Ana and Sombra and things like that, Overwatch was very, very easy to keep track of what's going on the screen, even though there was a lot going on the screen, because they were very diligent about the visuals in Overwatch.
Yeah,
The weapons looked different. The blasts from the weapons looked different. Famously, the silhouettes all looked different, so you could tell who somebody
Yeah.
was through a wall. The layout of the maps was big enough that you could see everybody. It was like very easy to watch, which is one of the reasons I loved it so much. And I loved
Yeah.
watching Widow and Sombra because like they have completely different play styles, and it's kind of interesting. Anyway, then they started to add more and more heroes, and then it got harder and harder to pay attention, and like got harder and harder to keep track of what you're actually supposed to be watching. And then now it's like really hard. Like I can't tell immediately who I'm even looking at.
Yeah.
And there's so many ultimates
That's bad.
going off at
That's
all
bad.
times, and it's crazy. But then there's Marvel
too much shit.
Rivals, where the game is still new, but they didn't really try as hard to make it watchable. They didn't try as hard to make it like visually distinct and organized and elegant. The bottom of the screen is really
Yeah.
cluttered. The abilities are way harder to understand. Way harder to understand if you don't play the game.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, for me, a bunch of my favorite creators switched to Marvel Rivals. I watched a bunch of Marvel Rivals last year. I don't know what's going on. And I love watching esports.
Yeah.
And I've watched
Damn.
tons of esports.
Like-
So yeah, it's impossible.
I'll tell you, I like the art style of Marvel Rivals more than I ever liked it for Overwatch. I think
What do you like
Overwatch
about
was
it?
always like
I think there's something to that.
it feels more consistent. It feels more consistent. I mean, still TF2 smokes it, but it's still like I feel like they were all. I want it to feel like everything was designed by one person. I want it to feel like a singular vision. Of course, it wasn't. Games this size cannot be made by one person. For Marvel Rivals, there were at full ramp up, there were probably hundreds of people working on the game.
Yeah.
And in the design room, there were probably 2-3 dozen people designing everything, but it feels like a singular vision.
It
Whereas
does.
Overwatch,
And, by the way,
what was like you put like Junkrat next to like
right.
Widowmaker, and it's like these guys are in the same universe. Like that's bullshit.
And by the way, it should be the same in Marvel Rivals because they are from the same story.
They're
Those
from the
designers
same fucking
didn't
universe.
design
Yeah.
those characters. Right?
Yeah.
Team Fortress
but
2.
they didn't design them, but it's like they put them next to each other and they reworked it so that the Hulk
yeah.
standing next to Spider-Man is like fucking stupid.
But it should.
They're both
It
more
should.
vibrant.
And
Yeah.
I'm not defending Overwatch here because what I was going to say is like they could have done that for Overwatch. It's my impression
They could have.
that they basically chose not to.
They chose to not spend the extra money. is
No,
what
I
they
don't
decided
think
to do.
that's why. I think it was more artistic and a little bit, to be honest, it's not a great reason. I think that they wanted the characters to be like representative of cultures, and that's not, that doesn't mean anything, right? Like they're going to represent.
They wanted them.
Go ahead.
Like they wanted the fucking they wanted the Junkyard universe to look like Junkyard
Yeah.
people. And it's like that's okay, but he stands next to like Reinhardt and it just looks weird cuz one of them's got like way more shit. One of them is like
You know, it
one of them
makes
looks
it
like he's from
easier.
Halo, one of them looks like it's from fucking
It makes it easier
a
to find
different
a
video
character
game.
that you
Like a
really
different video
relate
game.
to.
Maybe.
But that's
Well,
bad because then it makes you
Yeah.
one trick. Right? Like this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like the
that's
design
true.
of the game made it toxic.
Yeah, it's true. It's fun. It's funny you mentioned that because like I saw fucking Roadhog and I was like, that's me.
Hmm.
I gotta be the big fat asshole.
Right.
I have to be the big fat asshole, and they're telling me I can't play my big fat asshole, and I get mad at them.
Yeah. No,
I gotta be this guy. I don't know what
I
to tell
think
you.
that they chose to make them all different because they wanted them to represent certain distinctive cultures and distinctive places, which is what do they call it? Cultural essentialism, in a way.
I guess I don't know. It's hard to make things feel consistent. It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
If you design 10 characters, it's hard to make them all look like they're from the same fucking place. It's hard to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so no matter what they tell me, I know the game. I know that art is difficult and expensive. And they're telling me we decided to have them not look like they belong together. And all I hear, no matter the reason, I hear we decided to not spend the extra year making everything consistent. That's all I hear or maybe not the extra year, maybe the extra 8 months.
But where it gets
that's all I
toxic
hear.
is that they justified it by talking
Of
about
course they justified
cultures in a not good way, because they were, like I was saying, they're talking about, we wanted to have a Japanese character who looks like a ninja. And, you know, we wanted to have a Chinese character who looks like this. And we wanted to have a German character who looks like this. I don't know if that's good.
I mean, it's fine if they're the only one in the game.
I guess. But, like, I don't know
But
if it's...
then you make them all coagulate. It's visually cluttered.
I did...
No,
yeah.
I'm only talking about art stuff. That's all I'm talking about here.
I don't know
and
if
Marvel
it's good...
Rivals is like,
I don't know if it's good storytelling, because
yeah, no, I don't think it is good storytelling.
You want the characters to look and be the way they need to look and be to do the story.
Yeah.
And it's like, that shouldn't, I mean, ideally wouldn't be sacrificed for anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what was the first bullet, Dan?
What was the first bullet?
The first bullet.
It was just a little ball. It was a little, well, I guess the cannonball.
So, this is a hot debate, not the first bullet, but the debate is, what of Homo sapiens' evolutionary advantages could you take away and we would still be the dominant species on the planet? Because Homo sapiens has a couple really OP abilities.
Yeah, we're busted from multiple directions.
Yeah. So which one could you nerf into the ground and still have us be so dominant?
I mean, I want to say opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
I think that even if we didn't have these, we'd still fucking figure it out. They're great, but I think we'd still be able to communicate.
So we could like grab like this.
Yeah, we'd grab a spear like this, and we'd still be like, okay.
There are even more busted abilities that you could nerf. I don't know.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of things.
How about precise mouth and tongue movement?
Yeah, so language. I think that
Yeah, there a capacity for it,
yeah.
for sophisticated language, something beyond over
Yes.
there, duck, food here,
I think you could
right
still
now,
nerf
and
that
maybe
and we
later.
would still be
Yeah,
the dominant. We wouldn't have anything
yeah,
that we currently have probably.
yeah. No, we no way we would have the internet. No way we'd have the internet, but we'd have
Yeah.
spears, we'd have bow and arrow, and we'd have farms.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we might eventually get to that stuff, but it would be much slower. But anyway, what we
Yeah,
can't do, or what we can do, human beings, we can run forever. We can run for
yeah, it's true.
like 100 miles. A well-trained human can run for just 100
Yeah,
miles.
yeah.
There's like
Someone who's built
no
for it,
other
they can
animals that
fucking
can do
go.
that. There are other animals that can
That's
do that, but
crazy.
like not many. And we could talk.
Not at the consistency.
We can stand upright, which is very efficient.
Pretty
Talk
cool.
about
It's pretty cool.
we can continually be on the move. We can grab stuff. We can think. Right? We have
Yeah,
these
that's huge.
brains. But this one thing that starts the bullet conversation is that we can throw stuff.
We could throw stuff.
That's like very rare. It's like maybe like the rarest thing, the rarest ability.
Yeah. I've only seen like great apes throw things.
Yeah, it's like it's rarer than bioluminescence. It's rarer than being able to
Yeah.
fly.
I mean, there's a lot. There's actually a lot of bioluminescence.
Yeah. So
If you go to the abyss, there's a lot of that.
what I'm gonna do
All them motherfuckers could do that.
is I'm gonna walk you through the history that leads us to the most advanced modern bullets. Okay.
Okay.
The first thing is you throw stuff. That's why I'm holding a dart. This is a little magnetic dart. You could throw stuff with your hand, and you can throw pretty far, and you can get better at
Yeah,
it.
if
You
you're
could
good at
train
it.
it. Yeah.
You could get really good at it.
And then,
Have you seen pro darts?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Those guys are fucking incredible.
It's fun. It's fun, and I love that it's
It's
so
really
associated.
interesting stuff.
It's so associated
Yeah.
still with drinking.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's really funny.
It's just inextricable.
Yeah, you can't cut them up.
Right.
But yeah, so we can throw things. We can get
Yeah.
really good at
The
it. Take a few
first
years, you
technological
fucking get good at
advantage
that.
that was pretty apparent was people figured out that you could throw a stick sort of like this, where you like lever your
Yeah.
arm and it goes like this, and it'll fly farther because the stick is now straight, it's aerodynamic. So what if you just make your arm longer and you have a hook at the end of a stick?
Oh
And you
yeah,
can- yeah.
those things are sweet.
And the
What are those called? Those
Yeah.
like lacrosse stick looking fucking things?
Yeah, so the
things are
reason
sweet.
you're associating them with lacrosse is that both lacrosse and this thing were named by the Eastern Woodland Native American civilization, and the throwy
Ooh.
one was called the Atlatl. I don't remember if they called it lacrosse. They did have a name for it though. Lacrosse doesn't sound like a Native American word, but I could be wrong.
No. Sounds
But-
like white people shit to me.
They've worked out that you could just make your arm longer and have like a hook on the end, and then you would get like way more power because the human arm. I don't know if makes any sense, but it's like a lot stronger than it is fast.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah,
can't
yeah, totally.
whip your arm at 60 miles an hour, but you could really put a lot of power behind that, right? So you
Yeah.
can you
Yeah,
can use
yeah.
a lever to trade torque
You
for
can make
speed.
the arm longer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so these were used for a while, but people pretty soon also, and those are still used, and they allowed humanity to wipe out all of the large mammals except for the ones
Yeah.
that we know about, right? Bears, elephants.
Yeah, dude,
giraffes.
mammoths hate to see 6 or 7 of us coming.
Yeah, with atlatls, exactly.
They hate to see 6 or 7 lean dudes with atlatls.
So
And women.
immediately, I just punched the mic. Immediately,
That's allowed.
the first innovation that humanity came up with in terms of the development of bullets was wiped out so many other species,
Yeah.
right?
Step 1.
The first one. Have you ever heard of
Step
Clovis
one, fuck
points?
them up.
Have you ever heard of the Clovis
Clovis,
culture?
no. I don't know about Clovis. Tell me all about
We
Clovis.
tend to name Paleolithic and Mesolithic civilizations by their technology, because it's what we find. We find the stones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
don't find them, but we find what they made.
here's what Clovis points are. They're a type of high silicon rock, or a type of glassy rock that flakes. Sometimes it's obsidian, sometimes it's silicon flint, sometimes it's various different kinds of rocks. Some kind of high silicon rock that you get this big sausage shape piece, okay? And you sort of shape it into like a long cross section of an arrowhead. It's like sort of triangular. It's like apple seed shape. Then what you do is, okay, so here's the sausage. You kind of hold it like this, and you hit it with a bone, like a hip bone or something, and it will flake off pieces that are really quick to shape into arrowheads. So it's like an arrowhead stock. You have like metal stock material that you can flake off arrowheads from. And then there's very easy to shape them. So that was the Clovis technology. And
That's a good one.
yeah, it named this huge wide-ranging culture in North America. So when was gunpowder, or where was gunpowder first used?
China.
For weaponry?
Is that, for weaponry? I know the ancient Chinese used it for fireworks.
They also used it for
I
weapons.
couldn't tell you. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a pretty natural
For a
progression.
while, people didn't think that, but there's been more archaeological evidence.
Yeah,
since
like
then.
no way, dude. No way they could have this thing and not fucking make a cannon. There's
It does
no
seem
way.
a little sus that took us that long
Like-
to learn that, but
Yeah, like was it like white people be like, "Oh, the Chinese, no way they'd fucking fight."
I mean, it sounds like
Dude, they were
that.
fighting hell wars, man.
It sounds like that. It definitely sounds
Yeah.
like they would do that. But there was, so it's basically like there were like holes bored into bamboo, not holes bored into bamboo, but they were like bamboo things with some gunpowder in it, which is sulfur, saltpeter, which is potassium nitrate, I think, and charcoal mixed together, which are just sulfur. By the way, did you know that sulfur is brimstone? That's what brimstone is.
No.
The yellow crystalline sulfur. So you can get potassium nitrate and in various ways. But one of the most common ways that you refine potassium nitrate is from bird poo. So what happens is there are these
Great bird poop factories
Yeah.
began.
I don't know if that's what they did, but there are these bacteria and microorganisms that will eat bird poo, and it kind of has to go through, whoopsie. It kind of has to go through a couple of iterations of like bacteria eat it and poop something out, and then other bacteria eat that and poop something out, and then you get this one of the ingredients of gunpowder, but you can get it naturally.
Wow.
Sulfur is like a rock that you pick up from the ground, and then charcoal is charcoal. And you mix those things together and you get
Yeah.
something that burns pretty fast, not that fast. And
Fast enough for
Yeah.
most things.
so
Can't make a rocket out of it.
this technology moves across the world, and then they start to make cannons. So Dan, what do you know about how cannons work?
Okay. You got a big metal tube.
Yeah?
Then on one end you have your combustible. Probably a wick. Then you have your big metal ball all in the tube, and the metal ball is probably pretty tight to the diameter. It's not like perfect because they don't have milling machines.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have lathes, so they can't make it 1-to-1 perfect. Then you ignite the fuse that blows up the combustible, and then the gas, this big force here that fills the tube and propels the ball out at a pretty rapid, fast enough to knock a wall down.
Yeah, Totally. So
or
how do
do
you make a
serious
cannon?
damage to a
What's it
wall.
made out of? How do you make it? You said metal.
Well, that's a good question. I did say metal, but it actually was probably stone.
How do you make that then?
Uh, Dude, that's a good question.
Yeah,
I don't know. You probably had this tool where you and that like bores it out, but it probably
yeah.
takes forever.
I don't know of any stone cannons. It might have
Oh,
happened,
really?
but I
Oh,
don't
where
know of
are they
any.
metal?
Yeah, no, they were definitely made out of metal, and they were made out of cast
Oh, yeah,
iron.
okay, that makes sense.
So you need
Yeah, I could have known.
making
I
cast
should have known that.
iron is a barely industrial process. You can do it in your backyard.
Yeah,
The way it works, so
it's
cast
hard.
iron is a fascinating material. So we think of steel as, you know the two ingredients of steel, right?
A cat as iron and carbon.
Yeah. And so the crazy thing about that is if you have no carbon, you have pure iron, what's called wrought iron. If you have some carbon, like a little bit, between like 0.8 and, no, sorry, between like 0.4 and 1.5% carbon, then you have steel. All the grades of steel are kind of in there. And then you get more carbon. It cannot dissolve in the steel anymore. It's too much, so it precipitates out and forms graphite inside the steel. Or sorry, inside the iron. And this is
Okay.
all of a sudden as soft as regular iron, as soft as wrought iron. But it's got all this carbon in it. So it's because it's got all, it's actually an industrial process, not industrial, it's a blacksmithing process to get the carbon out of cast iron. No, sorry, I misspoke. If you have steel that has too much carbon in it and you want to lower the carbon to get the right kind of steel to make something, you can beat the metal and the air and the heat will get the carbon out. So you beat and fold and beat and fold. You can make bad steel into good steel, which is why the Japanese fucked around so much with making folded steel swords, because they had shit tier iron for most of their history. They had really low
So
quality iron.
they had to hit it. They had to hit it more.
Right, but not because like stretching it and folding it like made it better in particular, but because that process exposed it, you know, the carbon to oxygen, and they were able to like decarb their steel to get it to the correct type of steel.
Yeah.
So cast iron is easier to make because it just has like more, it has more carbon, and that actually lowers the melting temperature of the overall thing. It's called a eutectic. And so you can make it by just having a bunch of iron ore in a furnace with a bunch of charcoal and burning it all down in a bloomery. But normally in a bloomery, you want to take it out and immediately like beat it and consolidate it to make it to get steel so that you can make tools and stuff. Cast iron, it's okay if it just has more carbon in it. So you do that a bunch of times and you get up a bunch of cast iron together, you melt it down, but how do you make it into a cannon shape?
Well, you have to have a mold.
Yeah, how? What do you how do you do the mold?
Well, the mold probably has poop in it.
Go on.
Poop and some kind of sand and probably some kind of sticky thing to keep it all. Maybe that is the poop, but I know that early molds, a lot of it was poop. A lot of it was manure. I couldn't tell you the breakdown. I really couldn't. Probably stringy grass in there too.
So this is funny. So think about what you're pouring into this mold.
Yeah, hot shit.
So what's going to happen if there's water in the mold?
It's gonna fucking...
Yeah, no, it's just going to explode. Like, think about the amount of radiant heat that's coming off of 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 20 tons of molten metal.
Yeah, lots of it.
Right? Like, yeah, you know, it might be megawatts, right? of energy.
It's a lot of it.
All of that water is going to turn to steam immediately.
Yeah,
So it's going to explode.
totally.
Okay, so you can't really use poop.
You really. Oh, maybe they were. Well, I may be thinking of Bronze Age stuff.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
know they used manure for Bronze Age stuff. I don't know. I really don't know about how those molds were made.
yeah, so it's the big castings that you really want it to be pretty dry.
Yeah.
So they used sand,
Yeah, a lot of sand.
right? And maybe sand mixed with clay, but they sand casted these barrels, and then they have these cannonballs. Okay, and so the question is, how do you? I gotta sneeze. How do you keep the gas inside the cannon as it's burning? Like, how do you stop it from going around the cannonball? Because the inside is not very precision, because the boring out a
Yeah, it
barrel,
can't be.
precision boring is not, and the ball itself isn't very precision. So how do you seal that up?
No. I mean, oh, they probably had like a cork of some kind in between the gas and the ball,
Yeah,
and some
exactly.
kind of more precise gizmo. Yeah, totally. Okay.
Not more precise. They had
I've
something
seen that before.
flexible.
Yeah.
Specifically, they had cloth.
That clogged it up. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I could have guessed that. I could have guessed
Right,
that.
right. It's called wadding. You've probably heard of wadding, right?
Yeah, no, I've seen this before. I'm like really kicking myself that I didn't say that earlier because I did know. I have seen this.
So what was the first step on the road from cannons to the AK-47?
Well, I know that the first guns were basically just cannons that you hold, and people would make fun of them. People were like, that's dishonorable. That's like because they would often it was like a 1 in 10 chance it would just explode on you or
Yeah.
something crazy. They
So-
were like really crude.
Cannons are huge.
They called them
and
fire
thick,
sticks.
right? And so the
Yes.
reason they're so thick is because they can contain the pressure. Cast iron is not a strong material. Specifically, it's not
particularly,
strong
no.
in tension. If you have a big explosion on the inside, the whole barrel is being loaded in tension. So
Yeah.
you need a new material. You need a way to work steel in such a way that it is strong in tension. And the way they did that is fascinating.
All right.
So you've got your bloom of iron that has too much carbon in it. You can beat it and 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 lower the carbon content and make it into true steel. Make it into hardenable steel. And one way to do that is to make Damascus steel, to do this folded
Damascus
pattern,
steel, baby.
right? So now you can
Yeah,
make,
dudes love Damascus steel.
but it was utilitarian because they were trying to decarb
Yeah.
the iron. So so you've got this billet of Damascus steel, and you can stretch it out, make it into a flat bar, roll it over, make it into a tube, weld the tube. You can forge weld a tube. It's hard. It's really hard, but you can do it.
Yeah.
But there's a problem. You've now taken this billet and you've brought the grain. Like, imagine what's happening to the grain of those crystals. You've pulled it out. So now the grain of the metal inside the microscopic structure is like a bunch of straws, like a bundle of straws. What was the kind of strength that I said we needed?
Tensile.
Right, but specifically, it's
tension.
expanding from the inside. So a bundle of straws, it's got no strength from this kind of force.
Yeah.
Right? How do
Okay.
they solve that?
Well, would they put a band around the outside? I don't know.
I'm sure that was tried.
It probably didn't. Probably wasn't the way.
It wasn't the ultimate solution.
Probably wasn't enough. Probably wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Come up with some other chemical fucking thingamajig that keeps it all together.
So metallurgy itself advanced too slowly. You need the Bessemer steel process, where you are actually using blown air, forced air into the furnace, into the crucible, to control the amount of the balance of carbon and iron. Instead of beating the steel to decarb it, the Bessemer process used molten steel and air being blown through it to create the right balance. That is a very industrial process. So before that, they couldn't wait for that. They had to figure it out with just blacksmithing.
Yeah.
So think about this. This bundle of fibers that you have is strong this way. Strong if you pull on it. So what do you need it to be? It used to be strong if you like spread it from the inside. Spiral it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, if you take it and you spiral it around the sort of negative of the barrel, then you'll have something that's strong the way you want it to be strong. And so
you have to do a lot more forge welding for that?
Way more forge welding, but they got fast at it.
Yeah.
You can solve this with skill.
They figured it out.
Yeah. You could just you could just get really good at it. They solve this with skill. So this was the technology that allowed for barrels of guns you could put a bigger charge in it, and without it, like, they couldn't have made. This was how, like, every weapon in, like, the Napoleonic Wars and shit like that were manufactured. Like, even in the Civil War, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. But so you know about, like, flintlocks, right?
Yeah, I know all about how flintlocks work.
Tell me about the flintlock.
Well, there's flint, and there's a thing that strikes the flint, and that's on like a... Mm-hmm. And then that's connected to the trigger. You pull this little trigger, and you get and that strikes the flint and creates a spark. And that spark is what ignites the charge. Mm-hmm. When that charge propels your object.
Okay, so
that's really all I know about it.
Yep. So there's a breech load, or there's some kind of breech. There's some kind of hole in the back of the barrel, and you need the fire.
Yeah, where you can stick your thing.
Yeah, you need the fire to make it from the outside to the inside. So the flint is going to strike a spark. Spark is going to land in this just pan. When they say a flash in the pan, it's literally just a dish of black powder. And as a little trail, the black powder follows this little trail into the barrel, and then that explodes. And this often you would have the flash and it wouldn't make it inside, and you have to clean it and try again. So that's the flintlock. But what was the next step? What was the first step from the flintlock to the modern bullet?
Well, cased ammunition really changed everything, but I don't know if that was the first step. Like just making an all-in-one cartridge with your projectile, your case, and your powder. It's all in there.
Yeah, there was one step before that where basically you would have the percussion cap. They chemists have invented percussive powders that would make a flame just from hitting it, and you would have this little
that's pretty incredible, by the way. That's like very, very cool.
Yeah. You would have this
very cool
it's
stuff.
It's basically like a cylinder with a cap on it, and then it looks like a cap, like for a cap gun. And
yeah.
You would put it on this little breech in the barrel, and then there would be a hammer that you draw back and it hits it, and then it would throw the bullet. So, what do I want to ask? Do you know about the mini ball?
Yes.
Do you know why it's called that?
I don't know why it's called that, but I know I could draw you a picture of what it looks like. It's like this thing that's got like, it's better for spinning around in the barrel of the gun because it's got space for like the gas to help it propel. It's like...
Yeah. Why did it have those grooves?
It had those grooves so that the gas escaping the barrel would like get it to spin, and that would keep it more accurate.
So there's one part of the mini ball.
Is that true?
Like, sort of. Like, I think that you're mushing together two different sentences from a documentary you once watched.
Probably.
So hopefully you'll figure out which those two sentences are. So there's this one part of the mini ball that you didn't draw because it's hidden by the back rim of the cylinder, which is its concave on the back side.
Okay.
It sort of mirrors its convex on the front side with this little concave on the back side. And why do you suppose they did that?
to fit whatever goes behind it.
No, it's just air. It's expanded gas.
Oh. Oh, okay.
It's way weird. It's way cooler than that. So you would have,
Is it because it like keeps the gas behind it as it
but
goes
how?
forward?
But how? Yes, but how?
That I couldn't tell you. That I don't
So
know. Just I guess this shape is better for keeping things there versus here it's gonna go around it.
yeah, you're on the right track. So you have this
I don't
shape.
know.
Think about two
I'm a
dimensions.
caveman. Yeah, yeah.
So we have the gas is expanding and it's pushing in every direction. Okay, so it's pushing out
Yeah.
on the barrels, which is why we need those spiral barrels. We have those now. So now we're like, it's pushing this way, but if it's flat, it's just pushing this way, and it'll push the bullet out. But
Oh,
it's pushing,
this way it catches more
no, not. It's better than that.
directions.
It expands the bullet so that it makes a better seal.
Whoa.
In hydraulics, they call this a cup seal, where you have a rubber cup that is pushed onto the wall of the hydraulic cylinder.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
It actually moves the lead so that it makes a good seal, and it will grab the flutes of the rifling.
Yeah. Okay.
And something that sounded so preposterous to me that I thought it was a myth is that rifling wasn't there to make the bullets spin. It was there to catch powder so that you could use a gun over and over again, because the black powder left behind all these depositions.
Wait, so rifle? But I entirely thought rifling was to get it to spin.
It was soon discovered that was really effective, but initially the mini ball. Initially, it was just so that, we wouldn't have to clean the barrel, but then it was discovered that the mini ball with, it was named after a guy, by the way, that's why it's called that. It was named after this French guy named Mini, basically. With rifling, it would expand it, grab the grooves of the rifling, spin really fast, and it would be way more accurate. And
yeah,
the next step forward was the fully encased ammunition. The first type of fully encased ammunition was not the modern center fire cartridge. Instead, it was a normal bullet shape, normal cartridge shape, but it had this pin that stuck up at a right angle. And so the hammer would come down and whack.
Oh.
I know, it's very weird looking. Very weird looking. It would come down and whack this pin. So here's the bullet. It's like here. It came up like this. The hammer come down and whack it. And then on the opposite side of the barrel, on the inside of the cartridge, there would be this percussion cap inside the cartridge.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like this, it's like this shuttle thing that just sort of got knocked down and hit the cartridge. And this was because it was a bit harder to manufacture. Like the center fire cartridge requires more precision when you're manufacturing sheet metal. And then eventually there were also side firing cartridges, and until everybody sort of converged on the modern center fire cartridge.
Yeah.
So why do we use sometimes tungsten armor piercing and sometimes depleted uranium armor piercing?
Okay, that's a stretch. I don't know.
So they're both very heavy.
You mean or like tips of bullets or what?
Yeah, tips and cores of bullets.
All right, so we're skipping a lot.
Yeah, we're here. We
Jumping
sort of arrived at the modern bullet, which is a lead bullet with a center fire cartridge.
Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. I mean, the idea of a depleted uranium bullet is pretty fucked to me. That's cracked.
Very commonly used.
Really?
You know the A-10 Warthog?
Shows what I know.
The A-10 Warthog, the plane with the gun that goes brrr.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what an A-10 Warthog looks like?
That's all. No, I have no idea.
It's very iconic. You should look it up.
A-10 Warthog?
A-10. Letter A, number 10.
A-10 Warthog. The only Warthogs I know are from Halo. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Classic.
So that guy often fires depleted uranium cored bullets, which are big. Those bullets with the cartridge are like this big. And the reason that you use depleted uranium instead of tungsten. So tungsten is not as soft as hard steel. It's not as soft as people think it is. People are used to tungsten carbide, but tungsten, the metal, is not that hard. And so if you fire tungsten at a cannon, or not at a cannon, at a tank, the tungsten will kind of mushroom. And then it'll punch through, but like it'll use a lot of its energy up in mushrooming itself. Whereas uranium will sort of shatter and it will like flake corners off and it'll actually get sharper as it punches through stuff because it'll lose its corners.
Okay.
So uranium is way better at penetrating. It's obviously kind of questionable from an environmental standpoint because you're spraying uranium everywhere, but
yeah, you're spraying. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why it's used, is that it's more effective.
Uh-huh. I mean, that's pretty incredible stuff. So this brings me to my question. My question is, are we ever going to have laser guns? I'll tell you. I don't think we are because I don't think we need them. I think conventional ballistic firearms, like, dude, no way something's going to be that much better.
Well, what do lasers do is the first question. It's not a trick question.
You shine them at stuff that...
Yeah, you shine
them at stuff, and, like, that material scrapes away.
No. It just makes, so it doesn't scrape away, it melts or burns or vaporizes, right? It gets hot. Lasers make stuff hot. It's light, right? Light makes stuff hot.
Yeah.
So when you laser something, it makes it hot. And if it makes it hot enough, fast enough, then it can like melt it away. And then it makes a little bitty hole.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you think about lasers as weapons, you think about injuries people get from like cutting lasers or fiber lasers or stuff like that. They're like burns. They're like really severe burns.
Yeah.
They're not cuts.
Yeah.
It can burn through your skin, but it has to do that. It has to burn its way through everything. If you put clear water underneath a fiber laser, it'll obviously go right through. But if you put murky water underneath a very powerful laser, it will boil it. Okay? So you would need such an ungodly amount of energy in order to instantly convert what you're shining the laser onto into gas or plasma so fast that you create any kind of explosive expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you need so much energy.
Yeah, you would need like many times the amount of energy you would need for another kind of weapon. Because lasers aren't moving. Nothing's moving. There's no kinetic energy. You have to get kinetic energy through heat energy, and anytime you go from one type of energy to another, you lose a lot.
Yeah.
Because who cares if you really melt the shit out of 1% of the mass of a tank?
Yeah, who fucking gives a shit?
Right? So it's it's not like we're never going to have them because we're never going to need them. I think that they're unlikely to be commonly used ever because they're not good at being that kind of warfare weapon.
No, not like just ballistics.
But having said that, you can buy like 1 or 2 watt lasers, and they're very dangerous to your eyes, and you can burn yourself. And they would be like decent home defense. Because if you, horrible. Don't do this because you probably don't want to forever maim the person who's breaking into your house, like reasonably speaking.
No, you want them to stop. That's what you want.
Yeah, which is like probably even like a gun is better for that if you want to go for this.
Oh yeah, a gun is gonna stop them from doing what they're doing.
But if you had a 1 or a 2 watt laser, you could like instantly blind somebody forever. and quite painfully.
If you shot him in the eyes.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to
Kind
get
of a
that
tricky
close.
shot, though.
Instantly blind.
Wow.
Another reminder that humans are far and away the squishiest thing in a machine shop.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like you definitely like. Also, if somebody's running at you with a bat, and they're like, ah, and then you blind them, they're still gonna hit you.
Yeah,
They're
maybe.
still gonna hit you with it.
So you would give them instant. How many types of eye injury would you give them in that moment? But one of them is a corneal abrasion, which is the most painful thing. Like people who have given birth and gotten corneal abrasions said that while it might not have lasted for as long, the corneal abrasion was like worse.
Yeah, I believe you.
You know, because you just have so many. This is actually where you have the most nerve endings, is in your cornea.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like, yeah, it's bad. It's like 11 out of 10 pain is what people describe it as.
Okay. Of course, you can't do that to a tank.
No. So like
Tanks don't have eyeballs.
That's kind of my point. Is like, it's, you know, it's great against human beings if you want to just blind people, but like, that's not the kind of warfare we do, right? Like,
No,
just
it's really
maiming
not.
people. Also, you could prevent that with glasses. You can have laser
Yeah, it's
glasses.
pretty easily countered. Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like this weapon that we have that we use on protesters, which is basically just a microwave.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
You've heard about this? And you can defeat that with an aluminum foil suit.
I'll wear that next time I go to a rally.
I'm just saying, you could do it. Yeah.
Just line the inside of your jacket with some aluminum foil, and you're gonna be okay.
You know, yeah. No, not the inside, the outside.
Outside.
Like, you know those hazmat suits that are like made of aluminum foil?
Those like astronaut suits.
Yeah, I guess they look like kind of like astronaut suits. They also kind of look
Yeah,
like
that's
Chernobyl suits.
Yeah, that's what me and all my friends call them.
It's funny because
whenever this comes up in
I don't
casual
think this has
conversation,
ever
which
been-
it actually does.
I don't think that's ever been worn
I don't know.
in
Me and my
space.
friends are goofball. What's that?
You say
Yeah,
astronaut
no,
suits.
but they look like astronaut
I
looking
guess.
suits.
I
Hang on,
guess.
they're like the. Hang on, does the face mask look like
Yeah, no, I know what you're picturing. It's like a big gold vise, like
Yeah, it's like something like.
Yeah. Like
Yeah. I love those. I think those look great. I love that look.
But those like defeat that microwave thing. I'm not sure if those suits have thick enough aluminum foil. I know that like thick aluminum foil would do it, but don't do this, right? Don't try it. Because standing in these beams is also, I think it's bad for you if you're there too long. You don't want to be there
definitely.
too long. Like, you want to run away. But your body tells you to run away. It's very hard not to. But I don't know if it's good for you to stand in those things.
No, definitely not. So it's very good that they use them against the citizens.
I mean,
So
is it worse than tear gas? I don't know.
I don't know. All that shit's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And is that better than rubber bullets?
Yeah.
It all depends. It all depends where they catch you.
It's all the shit the comedian talked about in that one panel of Watchmen.
Yeah, it's true. So I guess when I say like, when I ask like, are we gonna have laser guns? I mean, what I really mean is like, are we ever gonna have a kind of science fiction gun that's like better than bullets? And I really don't think we're gonna. I think if you look,
Yeah.
I think if
I
you
also
go,
don't think so.
I think if you go 200 years in the future, we're still gonna be shooting bullets at people.
There are a couple of good
Like, no
reasons
way.
why that's true. The first is that chemical reactions are really, really good at being like, this is going to sound weird, being a way to carry around kinetic energy.
Yeah, it's like pre energy in a little cartridge that's like stay pretty stable.
Yeah. Like famously there was this thing called a rail gun that there were all these like
Yes.
people talking about, oh, this is going to be it's driven by electricity. It doesn't work that well. Like it works, but it's never really been
It's
used
okay.
because chemical reactions are very good at being a way to carry around kinetic energy. So
It's very efficient.
once you sort of understand that they're like the best way, actually, they're just the best way that the universe's toolkit, you know, it's like the best
Yeah.
way of doing that. You know,
Yeah.
I've had this idea for a long time. There is a way to make a thermonuclear gun where it actually fires a bullet, but it's a thermonuclear weapon, where you have a sphere with a bullet that you sort of breech load. So you sort of unscrew the sphere. It's a slow process. You load the bullet in. The bullet is too small to get out of the barrel. So you just sort of like stick
Okay.
it like Winnie the Pooh in Rabbit's door. It's like dunk into
Oh,
the
you
barrel.
mean it is like bigger than the barrel?
Yeah, like by a little bit. And it's made of something
Okay.
very, very hard. It's made of like tungsten metal, right? Something very high melting temperature and very strong. And so you like sort of shove it cone first into the barrel, and it's like protruding into this sphere, this reaction sphere. You put your nuke in there. It's this nuclear bomb. You screw it closed, okay? And then this sphere is made out of something that we don't know about yet that can survive having a nuke detonated inside of it. Okay? But we're just assuming that we can do this chemically. And then the nuke detonates and it will stretch the sphere a little bit because there's so much pressure on the inside. And so the bullet will deform its way through the barrel. But before it does that, you need a lot of pressure to detonate a nuclear bomb. So it allows that pressure to build while it's forcing its way through a barrel that's too small for it. And then it goes out with all of the pressure of that nuclear explosion behind it.
That'd be incredible.
But
That's
everything
like
about
a
that
siege
is,
weapon.
yeah, everything about that sounds hard to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you definitely never get anybody to like carry it with them into a war zone. You just wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's never gonna happen.
Even like thinking about futuristic weapons, it's hard to see a way past chemical reactions.
Yeah, like we'll have like 300. Even in Star Wars or whatever, we'll have these two spaceships. They're just gonna be shooting like torpedoes. Like they'll just be shooting missiles.
There's also,
No way.
by the way, it's also vanishingly difficult for me to ever see real space warfare happening.
Oh yeah.
Because it's so energetically expensive to get yourself out of a gravity well that why not land? Because you have so much more resources to use in killing the other person.
Yeah, it's true.
And then, it gets into all kinds of like weird, like questions, like goofy questions. Like, so do you not have mutually assured destruction anymore? Because, if you know what I mean? Like, can you not use nukes in space because you would have, I guess I don't know where I was going with that. But trying to imagine two civilizations bringing stuff out of gravity. And by the way, speaking of chemical reactions, it's unfathomable to me that you could ever get out of a gravity well without burning stuff. Like
Sure.
trying to use ions or light or something like that to get out, to launch from a planet seems, like I said, unfathomable to me, to have humans on board. Because you could spin and throw something into orbit. People are researching that right now, but you could put a human in there. They'd be dead.
No,
So-
their bones are gonna turn into liquid.
So you basically just have got to use chemical reactions to get into orbit, which means you're burning huge amounts of fuel to put your soldiers in
Yeah.
orbit. So are you just sending robots up there to fight each other for no reason? It's like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
like
think we're
fucking stupid.
ever going to see a space battle. Not a serious one, anyway.
Yeah,
Not a
one
large
with like
one.
real stakes.
Yeah, or at least
Yeah.
not. Maybe there'd be
It's
stakes.
just too
but
fucking. It's just too expensive.
maybe there could be stakes or something. Like maybe there could be genuine disputes about orbital, like geosynchronous slots, and there are two crews up there, and then there's a genuine like geopolitical conflict there. But never, I cannot picture it being a big thing. You know, like
Yeah.
with multiple ships
Yeah.
that are like sitting there and shooting at each other.
Yeah.
Because it's just so stupid from a resource point of view.
Yeah, it really is. Like that. Like it's so expensive to get out there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so difficult.
You have
do
to
that.
put together
It's so
like
fucking hard to do that.
swimming pools and swimming pools of liquid hydrogen and oxygen or
Yeah.
whatever. And trying
Not cheap.
yeah, or kerosene, you know, like whatever it is that you're burning, you have to get just like fire hoses of this thing to get like to get like something the size of a school bus into orbit.
Yeah.
So who's doing
Yeah.
this? Who's doing this?
I don't know. Billionaires, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. Like, yeah, science fiction is it really like. It's very silly. Or a lot of this stuff is very silly. A lot of this whole Star Wars thing is very silly. That there
Yeah.
would be ships doing all kinds of shit
It's
up
not
there.
silly. It's not silly. It's lovely. They're working with different rules.
Yeah, it's cool.
There's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
it's
it's
just
true.
like different rules. Like what I was saying is like I can't fathom a way to get up there without burning something. There just is a way to get up there without burning something. So it makes perfect sense. It's not silly.
Yeah, they're you know in the whatever galaxy, however long ago.
Yeah.
They know the thing. They know the secret.
Yeah, there just are different rules. There's different physics. There's different
Yeah.
chemistry. There's
Yeah, yeah.
like just to give you a silly example, the amount of energy of matter that you would have to collide with antimatter, which you can't even reasonably do, but let's imagine it's perfect, E equals mc squared, that you'd have to expend to blow up the planet of Alderaan, is like
Uh-huh.
2 Mount Everests worth of mass. So the Death Star is 2 Mount Everests lighter to after it blew up Alderaan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very silly.
Because you can't get past E equals mc squared, right? But they do
No, not
in
re-
Star
not
Wars
really.
all the
Yeah,
time.
they do.
Whenever a large ship launches into hyperspace, it like you need more energy than you can reasonably bring with you to get yourself in.
So all of these, so like the Millennium Falcon would just be carrying around just a giant, like a mountain-sized like tank of fucking fuel.
Had to.
And and the minute it jumps to hyperspace, it's gone.
It's gone.
So you gotta when you get where you're going, you gotta buy another one.
Yeah, because it's very hard. It's for
Because
like
you're not getting home.
for like relativistic reasons. It's very hard as you approach the speed of light. So this is why I'm saying there's different rules, is because they actually break E equals mc squared.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
there's
yeah, they
just
break
different
it
laws of
on
physics.
the reg.
Yeah,
They break it 4 times a day,
yeah. Every day.
every day.
So that
Yeah, it's crazy.
that's why I don't see him as silly. You know, it's just like
Yeah,
people.
It's a
people
different
look,
thing.
But people seriously have that opinion that you just said, of like it's so. Science fiction is so stupid because none of this is ever possible.
No,
It's
I
like,
love it.
yes,
I love it.
know.
I love it.
get
I
that.
think it's fun and cool. And you know, it's not real, no, but
That
neither
seems
is fucking Shakespeare.
Really
like,
stupid to me. It seems like it's
It's
like
like
a
somebody getting
fundamental.
bent out of shape about it.
Yeah, it's like bad media
Yeah, somebody getting
literacy.
mad about it.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like they think
it's
they're
definitely
making a
like,
point.
yeah. It's like, oh, dude, the Hulk? No way, man.
No way, man. It goes
Yeah,
against
no fucking way,
conservation of
obviously.
mass.
It's like, well, you see, no way that just being angry he could get that size. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
Dude, it's fake.
yeah. That seems worse
No
than
way
an
that would
opinion to
change-
me.
No way his like emotions could alter his chemical physiology.
To me, that seems like
No
worse
way
than
it
an
would turn him
opinion. It
green.
sounds like straight up just bad media literacy.
It's like anti literacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny. I've been thinking about like laser guns and shit. Uh, I don't know. I've been thinking about that, and I'm just like, yeah, if I were to write like a Star Wars, but it's like taking it a little more seriously,
Yeah.
and then they don't have just guns,
Hmm.
but they can all still jump to light speed and stuff. But they just have like Glocks and stuff.
I think
um,
that the laser guns are there's more of a storytelling tool. They're more of a suspension of disbelief type tool. And so
yeah,
if you want to make your world more gritty, then you can so I think that for science fiction writers, you can use the laws of physics and sort of like enforcing more like realistic laws of physics to make your world building more gritty. Like you can make things
yeah,
more resource intensive. That also makes poverty matter more.
yeah.
You know? You can use this adding back realism to achieve this gritty feel, and I feel like you like gritty feels.
I do. I like it when rules. I like rules because I'm like a little autistic, and I like it when stuff kind of does that. Where it's like I was thinking about like if I was playing like a Star Wars game, you know, and it's just like so, or it's like so like when the Empire was trying to find the Rebel base, they sent out a million fucking probes all over, and it's like that's cool. But how does that work? How expensive is that to do? Like it's very expensive, and they can afford it because they're the Empire. And it's like okay, so these probes are like sentient in that they could like when they would recognize
But all of that was
something, they
really
would
good
recognize a base.
storytelling, though.
Yeah, it was great. It was great storytelling. Really amazing stuff. But it's like okay, if I'm playing a game, how could I do that, or how could I avoid that? It's like the rules of that are outside of a pre-written narrative. Outside of a pre-written narrative, it falls apart entirely.
I don't think so.
Or like if I'm playing if I'm playing like Star Wars Dungeons and Dragons,
I think I understand what you're
it's like
saying.
okay, then like how can I find that thing? How
So
can I
you're
how can
saying
I
that
do that?
this works for the plot, but it only works for the plot.
It only really works for the plot that they've
Yeah.
pre-constructed and pre-rendered, pre-made.
Hmm.
Everything's been but it's a brilliant storytelling under what they've already
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, that's fair. That's also, I think, true for all fiction.
Really, it is. But especially with the like, I mean, I don't know if you're fiction like Ninja Turtles. It's like okay, the Ninja Turtles live in our world, except they're green and they could do backflips.
Right, but I'm just thinking about how many times can someone say of a character, oh, no one would say that in their point of view. This is unrealistic that
Yeah,
someone would say that. I think that's true for like every piece of media, every piece of fiction.
yeah,
So
yeah,
what
yeah.
you're really saying is that these rules are contrived to match the plot. I think that's just what fiction is.
That's the art of writing. That's
Yeah,
what you
it's
get.
just a series of like contrivances.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't think
not
this is
like
different about
it's not
sci-fi.
historical.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
suppose you're right. I think yeah, I think I mean yeah, that's true, but like it could be like you're going to have less people like no, he wouldn't turn green and get huge when he's mad. You'd have like less of that.
Yeah,
But
but I
like
think those
it's the same
people
thing.
are you're catering to the wrong crowd.
Absolutely. Don't write anything thinking about those people
Yeah.
and trying to make those people happy. No, write to make yourself happy.
Because the fact is, you say like he gets big and green when he gets mad. Why? What's the mechanism? Well,
Yeah.
he was in an accident. He was
Yeah.
experimenting with gamma rays, and he was in an accident, and that accident caused this to happen. Oh, but that could never happen. Uh-huh.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Right,
No,
exactly.
he would have just died.
So you're regressing to the mean when you're trying to like make a like this this is a little bit of a criticism of gritty sci-fi period, that you're
Yeah,
catering
really.
to the wrong person.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
let it be whimsical. It's like not bad writing
Yeah.
choices.
Yeah, like I guess like if I like I've been thinking a lot about like writing a Star Wars thing, but it's just like really gritty and really mean.
Hmm.
It's like I really like I really like it when stuff is like fucking really mean and difficult. Like I like that. I think that's like I'm inspired creatively. I'm inspired by like that idea of things being really difficult.
Hmm.
And like Chewie, we're gonna make the jump to hyperspace, and like they just do it. Yeah, unless there's some device that has malfunctioned their hyperdrive, uh,
So
you know. But
when
like,
teeny tiny mini writing lesson. So when you are when you're thinking about like you want something to be difficult, the one way that you could think about this is in terms of power, in terms of how much power a character has. So instead of thinking about difficulty, think about like what they can do and what they can't do. And
mhm.
this is really like key, because like there's this thing about writing Superman, right? How do you write meaningful conflict for someone who is invincible? And one way that you do that is you give him a problem that he cannot solve. You give him someone he loves is dying, and you know they have to work with that. So that's kind of mean and kind of difficult, but it's way more conducive to growing a character than making something, because otherwise it's really easy for something to feel artificially difficult, because it works. It's verisimilitudinous to have Chewie be able to make the jump to hyperspace. But it's I
Yeah,
would argue probably less verisimilitudinous to say Chewie make the jump to hyperspace, and then it's like hard cut to Chewie like shoveling coal
yeah,
in order to do that. That's
like
funny, but it's
like a
not
mountain of coal.
verisimilitudinous. You know, it's not good
No.
world building in particular. So
Yeah. Well,
instead,
no. What it would be. Yeah. Sorry. Go on. Then I'll tell you.
sorry, yeah. So just real quick, instead, what you could do is like, because I even think that plot lines or plot elements like trying to afford fuel is probably bad storytelling. Because probably, like as a heuristic, because when you know, most people like trying to afford fuel suggests someone with a very specific life. Like there are people, I know
Yeah.
people who struggle to afford fuel sometimes, but they do sort of set their life up in a way that doesn't happen as much. And so trying to afford fuel and you're painting this as a normal thing that's happening for somebody, that doesn't make a ton of sense. So if you want, you could think about power. You could think about things that are oppressing someone from on high. But like just making things difficult, I think is dangerous.
Yeah, like what it would be in like this world is like you don't casually jump to hyperspace. What it actually is you have to like you have to like go to a you have there's very there you have to drive your spaceship into to like a place and like pay them, and they can set they can like basically like blast you through dimensions to the other side of the galaxy at to this other like there's this big corporation that has various teleportation annexes
Hmm.
around the galaxy, and you just got to go over and give him $100 and he'll send you to the Gamma Quadrant.
That's been done.
Like that would be yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that would be how it would be.
I think that's,
Um,
that's okay, but it's just a political commentary, which I'm not
yeah.
sure is what you want.
Oh, it is. I like political
Okay.
commentary.
Okay.
Like that we're all reliant on this thing so that we can do our jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also very
Like
it's a political commentary drafted by someone living in Los Angeles.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah. Oh, not for much longer, hopefully.
you could just I'll save my congrats until you're actually out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Not yet.
you
Still
could
a
almost
ways
just
out.
like
Still a
read
bit.
that story and know the person was living in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, dude, if you want to do your job, you have to have the fucking thing that gets you there.
Yeah.
And that's not covered by the company. No way. That's
Yeah.
on the individual to maintain. And that's something that I find very cruel, and something that I'm not sure if, like, it's so cruel, but it's so normal that I don't think we even realize. It's like something we don't even think about. Oh, that's just the way it is. I hate that. That's like, why isn't, why the fuck, why do
Yeah.
we gotta pay to operate the fucking machine?
This is the story that you, or the arrangement that you told me about is very Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you seen Cowboy Bebop or read
I
about
saw a
it?
little bit of the Netflix live action one. I'm just familiar with the story.
Oh no. Yeah, no, it's not good.
Yeah, it was hard to watch.
But yeah, it's a terrific show. I know it's not like really a thing you go to, but it is very, the art direction is terrific.
Yeah.
Excellent world building and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really. Yeah, I can't really say much based on the Netflix thing because it was just so clear that this wasn't it.
No, it's not it.
It's like it was like a
Uh,
challenge to watch.
yeah, I didn't try. And it's like I'm really not even like a huge anime guy. Like not really. I actually, you could list the number of anime I love on probably one hand. And it's like Bebop, Akira, Champloo. I'm kind of running out of things to say. But like, no, it's very good. Yeah, like but it's difficult to imagine any science fiction world where they're shooting anything other than bullets at each other.
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah, it's so pew pew.
like
You know.
that's yeah. Like, dude, no way. No way we're ever gonna. No way. That's bet. And it's funny. You're like watching Star Wars, and they're like shooting lasers at each other, and I'm just thinking, dude, if you had a Glock, they would be dead.
Yes.
Like you would have fired
Yes.
more bullets faster and
Yeah.
reloaded and like hit all your shots.
Right. Right.
Not all of them, but hit more of your shots.
It is a good thought experiment. Drop one guy in cover with an M16 into the corner
Yeah.
of that Death Star. Everybody's dead.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Like you see I mean, it's good visual. It's good. The lasers are very good because you see the pew, pew, pew.
The one thing I
You
have
hear the-
heard in defense of those weapons is that the mag size is like in the thousands.
Yeah. You don't see them reload. They
You
don't
see 'em
reload.
reload. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the beginning
But
of
also-
the day. They just throw the cartridge in.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, but also to respond to that, it's like, it's pretty rare in movies to see somebody with a conventional firearm. It's like semi rare that you will see them reload.
Yeah.
After the, like, if somebody's got if like somebody in a movie has a Uzi, it's
I
like,
knew you were gonna
I
talk
know,
about Uzis. This is the funniest thing.
I know if you fucking squeeze the trigger for like a second and some change, you're out of bullets. Done. But if somebody's in a movie with Uzi, go around the corner, or and then like maybe after then when they're about to fucking kill the big bad guy, that's when they drop the magazine and put the new one in because it looks cool now, So it's like you don't see them. It's not like we're handling that realistically either.